Normally I give you a bit of a heads up
Oh no,
before
surprise me.
before we do a conspiracy corner,
Oh,
but this time I'm just gonna hit you out of left field. My one for today
I can see a picture through there.
is Greta Thunberg a time traveller?
Oh yes, I saw this one.
Hey?
Yes, I've seen this picture. This is the one we're talking about.
I'll put it on the screen so
Yep.
everyone can.
I think she's a fucking retard. And people, this is the thing I hate too when I ever put comments up about her. Lee, how can you pick on a young girl who's got Asperger's or autism or blah blah? Simple, because she's put herself out there in the public eye to come up with these stupid claims that people have made a claim on. So I don't care if she's retarded, got one arm, one leg, two fucking heads, has a speech impediment, is cross-eyed, wears glasses. I don't give a fuck. If you're putting yourself out there to make these stupid claims, just because you're fucking retarded, I'm not going to have a comment on you. So I will comment on her. And the thing I want to say about this too, if she is a time traveller, this picture is wrong, because if she can see the future and knows about climate change and how we're all doomed and shit, this picture should be from the future, not from the past. Because in the past, they had common sense. They didn't worry about shit like that back then. When it got hot, it was because it was summertime and shit happened. There was bushfires back then and stuff like that. Back in the 50s in Australia, I think it was, the temperatures were up in the 49s for like a week. Over 400 people died that week in Australia. There was no climate change. Yeah, look, climate changes. We've been recording temperatures now for 150 years? So who's to say the world's been here billions of years? So who's to say every 400 years we don't go in this cycle? And then maybe in 5 years' time we're going to go back to really cold, and then 200 years from there we might go to even more hotter. We don't fucking know.
Yeah.
All climate change is just another fancy word, because they had to get away from global warming, because if we went by Al Gore's predictions, we all should be underwater by now and there should be no fucking polar ice caps left. So it's just a money-making scheme bullshit. The climate's always going to change. What I'd be more worried about is stuff like rubbish. You know, you see the New Year's Eve party? Take note, this New Year's Eve down there at Sydney.
Yeah.
The next day, you see the fucking amount of rubbish that's left there on the fucking foreshore? Half that shit goes in the fucking harbour and stuff like that. I'd be more worried about cleaning up shit like that. And Australia, for instance, and some of these countries that she's on about, don't contribute to fucking half of the fucking pollution and shit. So, like I said, she's just a spokesperson for this shit. She's saying, like, you know, they've stolen our fucking childhood and this and that. Look at her, she's from fucking worth millions of dollars, the family's rich and blah blah blah. She doesn't fucking know what it's like to have nothing, so so I will call her a fucking retard.
No, well,
because, you know,
I actually look.
when they asked her those questions, see, that's another thing too, when they put up that video on YouTube where they finally did ask her questions and she sits there like, maybe you should ask somebody else. What, you know, did you see that video? And she couldn't answer any questions because it wasn't scripted for her or shit. To me, it's like, if you're that passionate about climate change and you're that such a fucking activist and you have this fucking drive in you to save the planet, if somebody asks you a fucking question, you should be able to answer it. Even if you don't know the fucking answer, bullshit, make one up like politicians do. Don't just sit there going, I think I should give somebody else a turn and let them answer. And then they ask for another one. Maybe you can ask somebody else. It's like, if you're that passionate, you'd fucking just bullshit your way out of it if you wanted. But no, she didn't know what to fucking say because she hadn't been fucking coached or rehearsed on those fucking questions from the media.
I feel sorry for her in that,
I don't.
that she's 16 years old. She's probably been.
I know, and when they say to me too, Lee, how can you make fun of a child? She's not a child, like you said, she's 16. She's not like she's fucking 5 or 6. That's a child. She's fucking 16, for God's sakes.
And, you know, she
knows what she's doing.
Throwing herself out there, and now what's happening is because she doesn't
How
have
much money she's made from it.
But she doesn't have the maturity to handle these situations. And I don't know if you saw the one where they found a car at the climate thing. This guy, you know, obviously seen her getting out of a Tesla. Like that's the thing, like that. Okay, you've got an electric car. It's a brand new Tesla. Yeah, it's not burning petrol, but it had to burn a shitload of fossil fuels to be made.
Exactly. That's the thing too. What these young kids say to go on about climate change. It's like, where do they think their fucking mobile phones come from? All the parts in that, their fucking TVs, their iPads, half the shit they're wearing and all this sort of stuff. They think just fucking comes out of thin air. The fucking Tesla car, where's that electricity come from that you need to fucking charge that thing up? And then all those battery powered shit, they've shown that the batteries only last so long.
Yeah.
Then where the fuck they going to do with those batteries?
Yeah.
They've got to make more batteries. Where's all the stuff from that come from? Fucking mining.
Yeah.
They don't fucking, it's like these ones in Australia here to say we want stop coal mining and stop coal and this and that by this time. Okay, what are you going to do for all the fucking jobs then? What are people going to do? What are people that work on the ships and the loading docks, the people that work in the mines, the truck drivers, the train drivers? There'll be hundreds of thousands out of work. What the fuck are they going to do with them?
Yeah.
There's all this fucking renewable bullshit and stuff. It's like, it's a load of crap. And then these women too that go on about it, they're the biggest fucking hypocrites because they'll have 2, 3, 4 children all on disposable fucking diapers. They've said for years that disposable diapers that go in the landfill and they don't fucking disappear.
Yeah.
In the old days, they used cloth nappies. Sure, they might have been hats because you've got to fucking wash them and stuff, but to me it's like, here's an invention for someone. You know, whenever I dry my car now, I use a little microfiber cloth. It absorbs so much stuff and you can rinse it out. Just get a microfiber cloth. Someone could make it even thicker. In the middle bit, you could have it even thicker to absorb the poo and pee.
Yeah.
Or even have the middle bit detachable like a lady's period pad where it's a microfiber pad but you can take it in and take it out. But just make this microfiber cloth the same shape as a nappy that you can put on a child, have Velcro to fucking put it on. And that way if they piss or shit in it, you can just wash them and use them again over and over and over. So what if people say climate change, disposable nappies, how many fucking billion are going into landfill probably every fucking day? In the old days people used to wash them out, but now, I'm not doing that. That would require fucking work, wouldn't it? So.
Well, it's funny you say that because, you know, they're over there doing this thing saying, oh, this is what the government should do, this is what, you know, they're expecting the government to come riding in and save the day, but as you know, like our government couldn't build a tram line through Sydney.
I saw that broke down the first day, and now even that fucking stadium they're building, they just said it's going 100 million over budget.
But if you really believe in climate change, and all you got to do is just use less stuff, even if the electricity. All you got to do is
go into Sydney tonight. Look at every government office that has the fucking lights on. Every fucking floor, no one's there working. Turn the fucking lights off.
Yeah.
Have those lights like hotels have, the one I stayed at last night. The lights are off. If you walk on that floor, so say the cleaners come in to clean, the light comes on right there. It's motion detected. When they leave, the light goes out.
Yeah.
But all these fucking government buildings and shit that have their lights on, oh, wait a minute, every year we have Earth Hour. We turn off all the lights in all the major cities for 1 hour. Big fucking deal. Half these government buildings, how many of them are solar powered on top? None. Every house that's built today, why don't they make it? Every house that gets built today comes with solar panels. Simple as that. Wouldn't be hard to add into the price now, would it?
Yeah, but even then, like if you're into this stuff so bad you think the world's going to die, well, just don't turn the lights on.
Exactly. Go back to fucking candles.
Yeah, you're not going to need...
you can get kerosene lamps if you want. You can get solar powered lights. You get those camping stores. I got one at home. It's like a lantern. You pull it open, but it's solar powered. All these cunts like of Grand Hitlerberg, you can fucking go get her. How many of these people you see, these climate activists that need power to charge their phones? You can walk into, or anywhere, go online now, Google, eBay. You can buy them now, solar powered phone chargers. I'd like to see how many of these climate people that are down there in their fucking, you know, you always see them on the news fucking tying themselves to something. It's like, they've all got mobile phones because they're fucking recording what they're doing. But how many of them have got a solar-powered phone charger? So while they're sitting there in the sun, they're charging their phone. No, they don't. They go home and plug it into the fucking electricity.
No, but why do you even have a phone? Because the phone, phone takes like massive amounts of energy to build. Exactly. You've got to transport it around. Well,
that's why they're hypocrites. And the clothing they wear, or the shoes they got, or anything they do, it's just like, oh, how do we get here? Or I travel on a fucking diesel train, or I go on this. It's like, oh, whatever. How'd that get built? Well, they make it out of mud, you stupid fucking cow.
Well, back to it. Look, as I said, I feel a bit sorry for
it. Look, I'm all for people like with waste, like plastic bottles and shit. Don't throw them in the ocean, put them in the bin, try recycle, or any type of rubbish and stuff like that. Yes, maybe we shouldn't cut down so many trees. She's on the cover of Times magazine That's Worldwide magazine. How many trees got cut down for that fucking magazine to be fucking made? Even if they did fucking use some recycled paper or fucking whatever. How did you think those fucking magazine pages, where'd they come from?
No,
The fucking clouds?
No, we should. When he went to a car, like it was just full of like rubbish, like plastic water bottles, plastic containers, just all the things that she's, you know, protesting against, and that's the reason why. Look, I'd love to have.
What sort of tyres did the fucking car have on it?
Or the
Rubber?
Yeah, recycled cardboard.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking condoms all fucking wrapped around.
But no, as I said, like someone like that, they don't have the capacity to think of the whole. That's
why they know she's just being coached. She's had no fucking life. You've stolen my childhood. You're only 16. You've done nothing. It's like then you see these other people who are actually out there trying to do shit. Changes that one person, I think I posted, some young kid somewhere missed out on Time magazine. He came up with an enzyme that destroys plastic bottles. It breaks it down into nothing. It's like, well, that's fucking something, isn't it? It can destroy that. And it's like, you know, back in the old days, we used to have the glass bottle, Coke bottles and shit. Okay, it might be a little bit more expensive to make glass, I don't know, but you can fucking use it over and over and over. It'd be better than the plastic, wouldn't it? So it might cost a lot more, but in the long run, with the damage that plastic's doing and how we've got to keep fixing up shit, maybe cheaper to pay that a couple of cents more for the glass and shit. But no, people want everything that's a throwaway society now and get new stuff all the time. And
oh, look, I think the answer is it's in technology, it's in economic development. Someone's going to come up with and it probably already exists, but they're suppressing it. Some way to make super cheap energy.
Do you think the oil companies are going to let them get rid of oil and fossil fuels and shit like that? Years ago they had, you watched those, there was a program before where they had engines built back into fucking 100 years ago that could run on steam and water and stuff like that and different things. They didn't need oil and petrol, but they're not going to let that happen. It's like, can you imagine if they did fucking go to batteries? Batteries cost so much now anyway that, you know, petrol companies are too big. That's just like saying, you know what, I've come up with a cigarette that's not addictive, or I've made a drink now, all beer. I made all these alcohol, but it's got no alcohol in it. It tastes like beer, it tastes like wine, but you'll never get drunk. So this is going to stop people drink driving and beating up their wives or husbands and shit. No one's going to ever get drunk again. But you can still drink it. It still tastes exactly the same. Nobody wants that. So they wouldn't fucking, come on.
No, look, I just think that
look how cigarette smoking dropped because they put it in plain packaging. That didn't fucking change shit, did it? It's like if you're addicted, you're addicted.
You know, and you just have to take a look at, say, the city of London, like how it was back in the 1700 Industrial Revolution would have been. Like with the pollution and whatever, it was a filthy place, and now
but
it's
they've even
cleaner.
Done those studies on those ones in China now, those power stations in China, they're almost zero emissions because the way the coal now is burnt and then it goes through all this process that it's only steam going into the atmosphere. There's no pollutions at all going into the atmosphere. So it's like, well, what the fuck do you want? Now they're talking about what this weekend will be a test with those hot weather coming in Victoria. They reckon some of the power stations are down already, so there's going to be blackouts and stuff. So.
Well, they're telling people only use power if you need it.
Yeah, well, who needs it now? I guess. So let's go back to the dark ages. Fuck.
Well.